Bum, bum, bum. Fish tanks. Doom, 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 doom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, and welcome back to the massive algae collection that is my reef tank. Um, and of course, the Calurpa collection that is my fish tank. And the Easy Reefers shut down Lost Forgotten Fish Room. Yes, it's the Lost Forgotten. I just changed the channel name to the Lost Forgotten channel. Where today I want to talk about oh, people who think that there's still no collusion. No collusion, no collusion, they say. No collusion over and over again, they say, out of the White House. And people that I meet on the street, people I know in person, in actual life, sit there and say, well, how come Mueller still hadn't found anything? The thing is, he has, oh yes, Mueller has found not just some things, he's found many, many things. And those many, many things are the subjects of many, many investigations that many, many Trump campaign officials and Donald Trump himself have been indicted for, both unofficially and officially. But because of Justice Department guidelines, which is basically the only thing shielding the president at this point, excuse me, Trump, the only thing shielding the Trump at this point. Because of Justice Department guidelines, he's not an indicted felon. He is simply named as Individual 1 in several felony and misdemeanor charges. This includes prosecution from Virginia, Washington, D.C., and the Southern District of New York. And the Mueller probe has not even been made public yet. Not to Trump, not to anybody. So for them to sit there and say no collusion, and for anybody to sit there and say Mueller hasn't found anything yet, that's preposterous. Mueller has found things that have been handed off to the appropriate jurisdictions for their prosecution. Mueller has also carried out several indictments on his own, in which Trump is listed as Individual 1, a co-perpetrator and co-conspirator. So basically, those Trump campaign officials, like the campaign manager, deputy campaign director, his campaign advisor, national security advisors, one of which who was made his actual national security advisor, Mike Flynn. They've all been found guilty of different things. But in the ones where there is conspiracy, they have this little person listed as Individual 1. And this correlates to Individual 1 in the Michael Cohen conspiracy charges. Individual 1 instructed Michael Cohen to pay Stormy Daniels. That's who Individual 1 is. That's Donald Trump. Individual 1 is listed in several other indictments, especially regarding Paul Manafort, his fucking campaign manager. And his campaign manager was found to have improperly passed campaign information to the Russians. Targeting data, they say. As they say. So to sit there and say that there's no collusion is a direct lie at this point. Which is why they didn't say no collusion last time around. They said no collusion with any Russian government officials. So that only makes sense if you discount the way that Russia actually works. You see, there's no such thing as a non-government business official in Russia. It's Russia. Any international businesses are indirectly controlled by the state in a pseudo-capitalistic fascist hierarchical structure. The key word being pseudo-capitalistic. These aren't independent oligarchs. They've been appointed by Putin. Some for their skills, some for their previous ownership, some for their co-ownership of other things. But the ones who actually own shit, it's more of a mafia type arrangement. It's either the government controls you, or you're one of those mafia organizations that controls the government. That's how Russia works. So anyways, thanks for joining me. Whoever joined and clicked the like button, feel free to say hello in the chats. I am, as always, hoping to start a discussion regarding these topics, if YouTube will, allow an audience to do so. Would that be nice? I have people commenting and questioning about the subject matter of the day. What a concept. What a great free country that would be. America. Where you can YouTube without people fucking with you. Anyway. I think my facial expressions are clickbait enough. I'm always with the dirt face, like, That's the dog spirit. Good morning, James. How are you today, sir? I just got finished putting in 3 more job applications. Although I keep on going over this interview in my mind. And then I got there this morning, and the person whose job I'm supposed to be taking over, they drop a lot of trash on their own aisle. And I'm not trying to talk trash, but when I pick up some trash that you drop right in front of you where you can see it, and I hand it to you because it's your trash, take the fucking trash. This girl said, what? What is that? It's your trash that you just fucking should have picked up but didn't. So I hope Winn-Dixie doesn't give me any problems about a background check or something, because they need me over at that store, man. It is pretty pathetic. The level of work that they're getting out of their employees is just pathetic. There was this display of sugar that I had seen with only one bag unopened. See, sugar comes in plastic wrap bundles. Okay. And only one of these bundles was unwrapped 4 hours before when I went to the store. And when I went back and got my interview, none of them had been opened still. And I was begging them to let me do it. It turns out one of the guys that was interviewing me, it was his job to have done it. But that's cool. He could be a front end type manager. I'll take care of the back end of the store. They just need to get me in there, so that whole back area gets taken care of. But anyways, so I applied at a rehab center that's looking for telephone sales marketer type people. Telephone and social media salesperson. I applied at O'Reilly Auto Parts, because they're looking for a counter person here at the Zachary store. And I applied at one of those, the people that do the samples in stores, the little event promotion things, where you hand out samples for a product that store sells. It's usually little old ladies that do that. But I've got a lot of relevant experience, and I happen to be disabled, and part-time is good enough for me. So maybe we can work something out. Just maybe. Hopefully. Anyways. But if you didn't hear me thank on the last video, thanks James, and also to Max for being the fucking most dependable people in my life. I don't know if that's sad or not, but that's basically how it is. Oh. Speaking of dependability, the subtle conspiracy to make my life easier strikes again. Oh yes. There is a law that is going to help out my prospecting process greatly. What they're going to do is basically floodplains get valued as entire areas under current law. And what they're going to do is allow for individual properties to be evaluated based on their current standing. So basically a raised house can remove itself from floodplain status, meaning that it can have a superior positioning when it comes to both flood insurance purchasing and property valuation. Basically, one of the biggest problems with my business plan of floodproofing buildings, as far as the amount of money we can sell it for, has just been solved. And I believe that law goes into effect on the 22nd of this month. I wish I had known. I'd have been using that foreknowledge in my positioning as far as pitches goes. But it is what it is. And hopefully all the good properties won't be gone by the time my investors get around to buying. So many well-priced properties have just gone off the market because we didn't act quick enough. Anyways, so I might just wind up trying to move back to Metairie unless I can get this shit off the ground out here. I already got guys thinking my patents are good enough to try to steal them from me. Got people wanting me to give them away, wanting me to take small percentages for my idea. That's why I'm trying to focus on the floodproof buildings, man. I'm going to be using coastal restoration grant money to help develop entire areas, provide jobs and everything. So that's exciting. The fact that I have court tomorrow, apparently, is not exciting. Rachel Maddow says, investigations multiply as Trump scandals spiral wider.
The Jersey Mike's Day of Giving, 100% of this Wednesday, March 27th.
Okay.
Thanks, you at home, for joining us this hour. It's nice to have you with us tonight. Happy Monday. All right, we start tonight with Ralph Wilson. Who? Ralph Wilson grew up in Detroit. If you know the name Ralph Wilson, you do not associate with him with the city of Detroit, because Ralph Wilson is famous for having founded the Buffalo Bills.
Ralph Wilson, founder of the Buffalo Bills. Okay. Trump provided inflated assets to Deutsche Bank, according to Cohen's testimony. Trump provided inflated assets to Deutsche Bank to aid a bid to buy the New York Buffalo Bills. Ain't that a bitch?
Only when Ralph Wilson died in 2014 after owning it for 54 years. But that team was for sale in 2014.
Look, OJ used to play for him. I don't know football, so I wouldn't know that. How about them Saints? They're still like a football team, right?
A natural gas billionaire, a bond investor from Santa Monica, the person who owned Pabst Blue Ribbon. Also, John Bon Jovi, who is
What?
John Bon Jovi. Also, Donald Trump, who you know from other contexts. So all of these folks were lining up to try to buy the Bills. It had never been on the market before. NFL teams never come on the market anyway, but the Bills in particular, owned by one guy for more than half a century. And when that team came up in 2014, the whole thing was always going to be like a rich guy street brawl.
Good morning, whoever else is joining. Feel free to say hello in the chats.
And John Bon Jovi.
And yes, it is awesome.
Circulating around Buffalo.
The new law change is going to help me revalue flooded properties. I mean, just plain and simple. It is the exact law that I needed passed.
But the rumors didn't derive from anything true that had been misconstrued. Those rumors were ginned up by a longtime Republican political operative named Michael Caputo, who has ties to Roger Stone and Paul Manafort. That is the guy who Trump sent in to Buffalo to try to kneecap John Bon Jovi so he could outmaneuver him and he could buy the Buffalo Bills. In the end, none of that rumor stuff mattered. None of those dirty tricks mattered. Mr. Bon Jovi and Mr. Trump both lost out to the natural gas billionaire, who was the one who ended up buying the Bills and did keep the team in Buffalo. And that might have been the end of it. You know, Trump lost, dirty tricks, didn't work, didn't get there anyway. Story over. Except now that story is back.
Did this information provided to us inflate the president's assets?
I believe these numbers are inflated.
And of course, inflating assets to win a newspaper poll to boost your ego is not a crime, but to your knowledge, did the president ever provide inflated assets to a bank in order to help him obtain a loan?
But you may answer that question.
These documents and others were provided to Deutsche Bank on one occasion where I was with them in our attempt to obtain money so that we can bid on the Buffalo Bills.
Thank you for your answer.
Michael Cohen testifying before Congress.
Huh.
Hearing in that testimony that the future
Ain't that a
president,
bitch?
Donald Trump, may have lied in a financial statement about the size of his assets to try to get a bank loan to buy the Buffalo Bills. I mean, it's obviously embarrassing, right, for the president, especially because he didn't end up being able to buy the Buffalo Bills. But it also is potentially important legally, right? If he did provide financial statements to a bank for the purposes of trying to defraud the bank, trying to persuade that bank to give him a loan with false representations about his ability to pay it back, I mean, that is the kind of thing that prosecutors call bank fraud. That's part of what Michael Cohen and Trump campaign chair Paul Manafort are going to prison for now. Last week, New York Attorney General Letitia James issued subpoenas to two banks, including the president's longtime personal lender, Deutsche Bank, citing testimony from Michael Cohen about Trump's inflated assets. Those subpoenas.
Can you hear that okay?
Loan applications, mortgages, lines of credit, and other
I'm trying to make it just barely audible.
With the Trump International Hotel in D.C., the Trump National Doral outside Miami, and the Trump International Hotel and Tower in Chicago.
The requested Deutsche Bank sought loan applications. Hold up. Read what's on the screen. The requested Deutsche Bank sought loan applications, mortgages, lines of credit, and other financing transactions in connection with the Trump International Hotel in Washington, the Trump National Doral outside Miami, and the Trump International Hotel and Tower in Chicago.
National Doral outside Miami and the Trump International Hotel and Tower in Chicago.
Investigators also requested records connected to the unsuccessful effort to buy the Buffalo Bills.
Tonight, the New York Times has new reporting in this big 4,000-word
That's from the New York Times.
tonight. The New York Times has just posted new reporting that suggests a surprise twist in that already weird story. Because if President Trump was inflating his assets in his financial statements to make
Good morning, Lacey.
than he was, so as to persuade this bank to make him a large loan. I mean, in theory at least, you'd expect the bank to be mad about that, right? What Cohen is alleging, or what the New York Attorney General appears to be investigating, is Trump lying in order to convince the bank that they should make him a loan that they otherwise wouldn't make him if he told them the truth about how much money and how many assets he actually had. Well, now, this surprise twist tonight, reported in the New York Times, is that apparently Deutsche Bank didn't mind. At least they didn't mind that much. According to this reporting in the Times tonight, Deutsche Bank knew what he was doing in that Buffalo Bills scam, and they were sort of cool with it. Quote, in early 2014, Mr. Trump and his personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, approached Deutsche Bank executive Rosemary Vrablic about more potential loans. The owner of the Buffalo
30 at once. How about that?
for sale. Mr. Trump was interested, and he needed to show the NFL that he had the financial wherewithal to pull off a transaction that could top $1 billion. Mr. Trump asked Ms. Vrablic at Deutsche Bank if the bank would be willing to make a loan. And he handed over bare bones financial statements that estimated his net worth at $8.7 billion. Michael Cohen testified to Congress last month that the documents exaggerated Trump's wealth. Deutsche Bank executives had reached a similar conclusion, meaning they also concluded that Trump was exaggerating his wealth in this loan application.
Huh.
Nevertheless, they agreed to vouch for Mr. Trump's bid for the Buffalo Bills, according to an executive report.
Oh,
So, they said, yeah, he's good for
they
money.
knew he was inflating it, but they still said he was good for it.
The Times is that Deutsche Bank knew Trump was lying about whether he could afford $1 billion loan to buy the Buffalo Bills. Or at least they came to the conclusion that he was lying in the financial statements he submitted in support of that loan. He materially misrepresented his wealth and his assets and his ability to repay the loan. But they decided to do it anyway. What? Who else gets to live in that world? Where do I sign up for that? I mean, first of all, what explains that? Is that just the way that banks operate? It would seem like
Rainbow Money Pora is actually starting to come back a little bit.
there's also the question of the potential criminal investigations here, right? I mean, this Buffalo Bills transaction is reportedly the subject of a
Ain't that something?
journal to this bank, right? So it's operating in all relevant. Is bank fraud called bank fraud if the bank is in on it? If they know that the person to whom they're going to give this loan is lying to them about their ability to pay that loan back? If the bank is in on this, then why would they do it? It's very strange. I mean, we really don't know what was going on between Deutsche Bank and Donald Trump in that transaction, but also over the course of their long relationship.
Bubbles, get out of the way.
Bank on Wall Street doesn't point him up, but Deutsche Bank kept shoveling its money. With Deutsche Bank,
Look at that, it's recovering.
something didn't make sense to your financial services. Going along with the loan, they know he was lying about his weird. The Times reports tonight that in another loan they considered for Trump early on, they discovered that somebody had forged the signature of a credit officer who supposedly approved a deal that was going to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars to Trump. That's a little bit of a red flag. Trump defaulted on his deals with Deutsche Bank. He lied to Deutsche Bank and they knew it. He sued Deutsche Bank to avoid paying back loans that he had taken from them. He took money from one part of the bank and used it to pay off another part of the bank. At least one banker who did multiple deals with Trump was fired
shit.
from the bank, apparently for misconduct. But somehow they kept
If that actually
to
recovers,
shove more money his way. Well over $2
this whole
billion
fish room will be still worth running, man. That's good
And now that
news.
the relationship is under investigation by the Intelligence Committee and the Financial Services Committee and by the New York Attorney General, that executive who Trump worked with most closely at that bank for years, Rosemary Vrablic, she now, according to the Times tonight, says she expects to be called to testify publicly on Capitol Hill. Her dealings with Trump, presumably, and other things. People
Oh shit. Speaking of dogs, I let my dog out and I fucking forgot him outside. Holy shit. Man, now I just spilled a bunch of shit on the floor. Great. Back.
There was a moment
Bingo.
in Manafort's federal sentencing last week. But now looking back at it, you can sort of see that the judge who sentenced him was teeing this up pretty clearly. I didn't feel until today like I knew what exactly the judge was getting at this sort of point where the judge launched into this tirade during the sentencing hearing. But today's news makes it pretty clear. So this was, just one little bit from the transcript. This is when Manafort was in court last week before Judge Amy Berman Jackson. This was Manafort's second federal sentencing last week. And at one point, right before she hands him down his sentence, and she's talking to him about his crimes and the seriousness of his crimes, she says this. Judge Amy Berman Jackson, quote, "Lobbying is not illegal. Being paid to do it, even on behalf of clients who others might view as unseemly or odious or even tyrannical, is not illegal. If you follow the laws that govern foreign financial transactions and pay your taxes, it's not illegal. It's okay to say, members of Congress, the government of the Ukraine, President Viktor Yanukovych, would like you to consider the following when you consider how to respond to his actions and when you determine what the foreign policy of the United States should be. But what you were doing, Mr. Manafort, was lying to members of Congress and the American public, saying, look at this nice American PR firm. Look at this nice U.S.-based law firm. Look at this nice group of prominent former European officials. Isn't it great how they've all voluntarily stepped forward to stand up for Yanukovych and the new Ukraine administration? When all along you were hiding that you and the Ukrainians actually have them on the payroll. This deliberate effort to obscure the facts, this disregard for truth, undermines our political discourse and it infects our policy making. If the people do not have the facts, democracy can't work." That was the judge in Manafort's case just a few days ago, reaming him out about the seriousness of his crimes and how what he did with this illegal lobbying stuff was not, quote, just a failure to comport with some pesky regulations, but it was actually serious and a damaging thing for our democracy. But now it sort of becomes even more clear in hindsight, because the way she's reaming Manafort out there, what she moments later sends him to prison.
All right.
Is a type of crime that Manafort
Misha got left out. So, Misha took off this morning. I got bored of looking for her.
The judge says that little tirade for a sentence. She says that Manafort's criminal scheme involved a, quote, nice American PR firm, a nice U.S.-based law firm, who are all supposedly voluntarily stepping forward to make a case for Manafort's pro-Russian Ukrainian clients. In this illegal lobbying scheme run by Manafort that he's going to prison for, it was actually two nice American PR firms and one nice U.S.-based law firm who participated in Manafort's crimes as they are described by prosecutors. The special counsel's office has reportedly looked into both of the PR firms and into the law firm, and has reportedly made some sort of referral to federal prosecutors in New York for potential prosecution of those firms for their role in what Manafort did. Well, according to another story in the New York Times today from reporters Ken Vogel and Katie Benner, federal prosecutors were asking witnesses questions about these two PR firms who worked with Manafort as recently as a few weeks ago, as recently as January of this year. We don't yet know if they're going to be charged, but we do know that prosecutors have been actively interested in them as recently as a few weeks ago. That's the PR firms. The law firm that was involved with Manafort is a very rich, very influential law firm called Skadden Arps. Skadden Arps, you might remember, they entered into an official non-prosecution agreement with the Justice Department in January, in which they admitted wrongdoing and they agreed to pay back millions of dollars in ill-gotten gains from this criminal scheme they were involved in with Manafort. But again, it's a non-prosecution agreement. for which Manafort is now going to prison, and for which the law firm he used to work at had to enter into a non-prosecution agreement with prosecutors. That lead partner himself isn't covered by the non-prosecution agreement because he left the firm last year. And he's now out there on his own. And he would be a very unusual fish to be caught in this net of scandal surrounding this president and this administration and this president's campaign. Because that lawyer who's now out on his own on this, his name is Gregory Craig.
Can you hear that okay?
And Donald Trump Jr. and Jared Kushner, all these other people who sort of arrived in Trump's clown car with him. But now this is no longer a contained epidemic. Now this exposure is wider spread. And so now here's Deutsche Bank, this mammoth German headquartered bank with a reputation for Russian money laundering and financial misconduct and inexplicable miscalculations of risk. Now Deutsche Bank's most Trump-adjacent executive is expecting to be publicly testifying in Congress. The bank is cooperating with congressional investigations, and they're fielding subpoenas from multiple law enforcement entities. The insurance giant Aon, which brokered multiple insurance policies for Trump, even as his longtime personal lawyer says he was committing insurance fraud in his applications for those policies. They too were facing subpoenas. A major law firm has entered into a formal non-prosecution agreement with the Justice Department for its illegal dealings with Trump's campaign chairman. One of its senior partners, a former senior Obama White House official, will know within a couple of weeks whether he himself is being criminally charged for his alleged involvement in that scheme with Manafort. Two major rich and influential PR firms in D.C. are facing that same prospect, having reportedly been referred for prosecution by the special counsel's office to prosecutors in SDNY. One of those firms has already dissolved under the pressure that all this scrutiny has brought. Even the Republican National Committee, right? I mean, the National Republican Party as an institution. They chose a new finance chair and two deputy finance chairs to serve them in the Trump era. All three of them have now had to step down from their posts. One of them's on his way to prison. One of them we now know was subpoenaed for information about the other one, who we just learned today was also raided last summer by the FBI.
Huh.
And so, and now tonight, it's time to have a conversation with Congressman Jerry Nadler of New York, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, because on top of all of those proceedings in this president's orbit, in the legal arena, Chairman Nadler said today that in addition to all that stuff going on in courtrooms and in prosecutors' offices, Chairman Nadler says today that in response to multiple document requests that were sent out by him and his committee 2 weeks ago, he says tonight that he has already obtained tens of thousands of pages of documents for his committee's multiple investigations of the president and his campaign and his administration, including thousands of pages from a private source. And that's it.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.
And that is why you shouldn't just watch Fox News. Anyway, I'm just cleaning up around here, that's all. Thinking about exactly how thorough I want to be. I don't want to go ahead and vacuum. Looks like it needs it pretty bad. Cleanliness is something that man made up. Dingo, get up off of there. Fucking asshole. Seriously? Seriously? Dick. On your own fucking rug. Don't dirty back up the one I just vacuumed. Lay down. Anyway. Oh, don't look at me with that face, Dingo. You're silly. You know you're not supposed to lay there. I don't care if it's more comfortable. That's your bed right there. Pat him on his butt that hard with my foot. Like that. He whines for nothing. So sensitive, huh, Dingo? He's just a little puppy, huh? Just a little 12-year-old puppy. Anyways. I guess I shouldn't sit here and burn my whole battery up. Thanks for hanging out, Mr. James. As soon as well, my condition is not getting worse. My condition is hopefully getting better. Trump's condition is getting worse. Let me go ahead and pause that so I can think. You know, the meds are good and whatnot. So my game plan for today is I don't really have a game plan. I'll be at church later on, and I'll probably be filming that and make sure my battery's nice and charged up. Other than that, I'm just keeping an ear out for jobs to call, hoping somebody fucking calls. Anyways, everybody pray that I get a job, because that's what I'm praying for. Otherwise, I'll be pretty desperate to move into a room for rent, either locally at a family's place or otherwise. Because without work, I can't sit here and pretend like I can afford $750 a month when my disability is only $890. And I don't get food stamps. Need to look into that, but it's another thing I gotta fucking remember to do first thing in the morning. I'd rather be looking for a job than going to get food stamps, but at a certain point you gotta give up on looking for work. I'm not there yet, but hopefully I won't be. But being separated, single, whatever, male on my own, it's pretty hard to have a job and get food stamps at the same time. when you're on disability, because the income from disability counts. And disability already puts me to where I don't even get food stamps, basically, is how it goes. It's like a minimum amount, like $75 a month. I'm not gonna waste a trip to downtown for $75 a month in food stamps. That's probably gonna get canceled once my income goes up. Not unless there actually comes a weekday where I don't have anything else to do, and it's not looking good for jobs. But otherwise, yeah, you don't want to qualify and then disqualify as soon as you start working, is all I'm saying. Anyways, so that's all my thinking out loud I have to do for the morning. And other than me being focused on jobs, I'm continuing to put together a flood-proof raising type business plan to go and flip some properties, and hopefully we'll be able to bankroll one of my patents with that money, is the objective. So thanks everybody for your support. New people, catch me on Patreon/EasyReefers, patreon.com/EasyReefers, where your monthly contributions will be very much appreciated and go into all of the previous efforts. They're still on the books to happen as soon as any one thing actually happens. And the more y'all help me out now, the better likelihood it is for any of it to happen. So that's why my longtime subscribers are supporting me, and that's why you should too. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to click the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you want to get notifications about future broadcasts, click the little bell.